Mm-hmm. Got you. Mm-hmm.
payout, which they didn't get last week. So it's all, it's a little bit busier today on X, as we can tell, because, they're trying to get a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Payout, which they didn't get last week.
You can if you
So
if
it's
you
all,
if you
it's a
make
little
it
bit
in a
busier
post
today on
first.
X, as we can tell, because, they're trying to
Yes,
get a
because we
paycheck.
can only pin. Yes, we can only pin what we have. We can find in post on X. We cannot just straight up pin
Payout, which they
a
didn't get
link,
last week.
and
You
this
can
is a
if
good
you
thing.
if you if you
And be
make it
careful
in a
with
post
posting links, you
On
first.
X,
guys,
as we
with
can
using your
tell, because,
hashtags and your
they're
cash
trying to
tags.
Yes,
I
because
know
we
we're
can
so
only
used to
pin.
that, but the
Yes, we can
algorithm of
only
X is
pin
not liking them. And
what we
Elon,
have.
even a little bit
We can
back,
find in post on
a
X. We
little while
cannot
ago,
just
said
straight
it
up
right.
pin
He was bearish on them, and
a
so
link.
using them too
And
much
this is a good
will
thing.
deboost you,
And be
right?
careful
So
with
if you are
posting
out there
links, you guys,
shilling,
with using your
it's more
hashtags and your
bullish to
cash
leave a
tags.
bullish comment, right? And it's just links from your Good Morning post or any other post that you want to share. You share them too much, you look like a bot trying to scammy people. So that's just some alpha on how to keep your waste of your money. So yeah, Tick is coming back alive. Here we go. Maybe you were bumped out of the spaces. You're fixing that stream now. Go ahead, check it out. All right, cool. That is so cool. Okay, I'm gonna like bookmark that, comment on it. Bullish. Yeah, let's go. Share that one out. The stream. Here we go. Done. Did my bit. Maybe you also want to put that post up in the comments, right? For people that would be bullish too. All right, so let's go then. Is it working, Tick? Are we live there? Awesome. Well, I cannot actually look. So if anybody can check that for me, because if I do that, I will be knocked out of this space and I'm the host. So we're gonna have a little bit of an issue. Mm. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh, so we can do it in this format then. I can actually name a token and then you can go to its website and we can go through it. Awesome. This is such an awesome format. Everything works out so perfectly, you guys. Last week, I just met Tick by accident in the DMs when he shared his song, What's the Ticker? And I've been having my idea to pick up the spaces again. And I was just like, hey, want to co host a space with me? And now we're streaming. We're not even a week out. We had successful days up to now. And now we're streaming on YouTube, right? And we're going to get something started to stream on X as well, and maybe I can pick that up, right? We're hooking another laptop up or something like that. Wire it together. So, things always work out perfectly. You just got to nibble away at it every day. And then you got to believe. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is so true. All right. So let's talk about this SUI because I really want to talk about it. At first, I'm going to pull up the chart and tell you a little bit something about the chain, right? And about its technology. So right now, Sui, it's up freaking 11%, outperforming Bitcoin like hardcore. That coin just keeps on running. There is so much to say about Sui. But I'll start with its technology. So Sui works with parallel scaling. This means that normally, if we're using Bitcoin or any other layer, we'll use the information, line it up like you would at a cash register, like one after another, and then push it through the blockchain. And this actually delays some time, right? This takes some time. Now, SUI parallel scales it. That means that we actually are lining up the information next to each other and then in one go pushes it through the block. And not only per transaction, but it grabs all the relevant information that's kind of the same, combines that, and then so it's multi swappable, right? So I hope I explained that bit a little bit because that can be a little bit daunting to understand how these things work, why it is so fast. So it's four times faster than Solana. It can take on 396,000 per second, where Solana does 98,000 per second. So it's almost four times faster than Solana. It's also cheaper than Solana. Now, why am I mentioning Solana? Not because I'm bearish on Solana. I'm actually very bullish on Solana. The thing is, it is the fastest one out there till now, right? Till Sui. And so that's why that comparison is made, simply because they're both fast. And other than that, the uh, comparison stops, right? The comparison stops there because Sui uses a different coding language than Solana altogether, right? Solana is using Rust, where on ETH we speak in Solidity, and on Sui we speak in Move, right? We use Move language, and that is revolutionary because it's very very simplified. It's a very simplified form of coding, very intuitive type of coding. We're actually building in blocks, so you're building um, a contract, an NFT contract, or anything else that you're doing on a blockchain, right? You're building that in blocks. So it's very intuitive this way, very different than Solidity. But yeah, so if you're a coder, you're interested in that, right? Go to the Sui page or Sui Discord because they have boot camps for coders, so you can learn how to code with Sui, and they are really embracing that. So if that's you, right, opportunity there. Yeah, then we're moving on. So Sui, a team is so active. They're all over the place. They have AMAs in their Discord, which you can join. They're active in real life. Sui is also a American recognized token, so it's on there. Uh, I think Eric Trump once made like a tweet about it, like what he holds on Sui. And so let's go into its ecosystem and do something there. Let's have a look. Let's first start with that deep. So, Tick, let's go look up the deep, go into the deep end with this. Oh, on Sui? Yeah, you got the guppy on. Yes, beautiful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love the super guppy. Yeah, 1 minute. We don't, nah, we never look on a 1 minute. That looks so bullish. Yeah. Yeah, do the 1 hour. Yeah, yeah, yes. And you also see on that super guppy how it's being carried by that EMA in the middle, right? That lift of that green. That's the one that holds the price up, pushes it up. Well, maybe it's a neon green. Yes, the thicker one in the middle. You have all these lines. These are corresponding with different EMAs. And normally we would have like a 50, a 30, a 25, but the Super Guppy is set to be a little tighter than that. So we actually have the EMA on 6, on 3, on 5, on 7, one on 9, one on 11, because that one actually gives the better signals to have it a little bit more tight on the band like that. So, of course, the 200s in there, the 70s in there. And instead of the 50, we the guppy has a 49, 52, and 55. And this is really cool for if you want to trade and have some targets. So you're setting targets, especially if you're future trading and you set 4 targets, right? So you're making a banger of a trade, and you can use these little tightened adjusted EMAs. So that's the super guppy there explained a little bit. And you can really see it gets that lift. It got a retouch of that thicker EMA in the middle. That one is actually the 40, I think, and it gets lift from there. Um, so that's why it's such a beautiful indicator, because it's really, you can see it in one go. I don't even need to look at all the EMAs if I'm not targeting. I can clearly see what's happening, right? Also, when you put a stochastic RSI on there, Tick,
Uh huh.
if you have that stochastic on there,
Let me see. That's not under indicators, is it?
yes, it is.
And it's the one more time. How do you spell it?
Stochastic RSI. Just type in
Sto.
RSI.
Oh, I got
You
it.
should
Gotcha.
just, yeah.
Let me see. Oh, it's not letting me do another overlay because I already have the
Oh,
guppy on there, I think, and I am on the free
you
version.
can have two. You can have two.
Let's see. Maybe if I'm trying to figure this out on the fly. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the super guppy. Why current plan basic 2? I don't. I wonder if I.
Do
I
you
wish.
have
Is there a way to?
volume? Sometimes volume is on there automatically. You can take it off. If you see bars under your screen, under the screen, under that guppy, and you see bars,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
volume indicator, yeah, rock
Yeah.
that.
So how do you forgive me? How do you turn off an indicator?
You go onto the indicator,
Uh huh.
and then it will show up. And
Oh,
there's
I
this
am the
trash
smartest
trash
person
can.
in the world now. Thank you. Cool. I figured it out. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. I figured it out now from clicking on it. And then we're going to do the stochastic RSI. Let's see here. Forgive me. I'm learning today, so it's a good thing. Here.
No,
All right.
we're all learning. That's why I love our
That's why we do
dynamic, right?
this. Yes.
Yeah, so why we do this. So Tick is doing it live, learning live on
Mm-hmm.
stage. There's nothing better than that. Sometimes I'm learning live on stage, and I'm like you. I'm like, what is,
Right.
how to make, what do we do? Especially,
That's awesome.
I
So I got the
I
so you
suck
could
at AI prompting, and sometimes I need help with that.
I
I'm not
can
ashamed to admit.
I've been honing hone my skill with that every day, like a lot. And so I don't know where you're at with as opposed to me, but yeah, I would be willing to help you if you ever have any questions about prompting. I love like like getting better at that. Like, each day I just try to get a little bit better at prompting. But
Yes, thank you. I'm probably gonna have to hold you up on that. So
yeah.
you got rid of that one, and I'll bring on the stochastic RSI.
So yeah, at the bottom you see there's the red and blue. It looks like
Yes,
a frequency wave,
yes, it
sort
is.
of. Yeah.
It is
Well, that's
the
exactly what it is,
RSI.
huh?
That's exactly what it is. The maybe you can even make music to it, but
Right. I wonder
But
what I wonder what Sui sounds like.
yeah, me too. Actually, that's so
Right.
bullish. All right, write
Right.
it down for later.
It's like a heavy
Okay,
metal
so let's
song.
talk about this stochastic RSI. So RSI is a trend indicator, right? Which indicates also when we are oversold and overbought. So when we're over the 80, we are getting into that overbought zone, and when we're under 20, we're oversold. So that means that too much people are selling, and so the
Mm.
bottom, that tells you then the bottom is in. What we always like to see for some
Wow.
perfect floor, for a
This
perfect floor,
this is
if you
so
have it,
alpha.
yeah,
This is the
when
alpha
you
right
have,
here.
yeah, when you are looking at that stochastic on that hourly
Yeah.
like you have, you
Okay.
see that when it's on the bottom, when it's searching its floor and
Mm.
price is ranging, you see that that is a good floor if the RSI is trading within 20 and 80. And Sui does that floor beautifully. Not
Wow.
too much over, not too much, right? It goes
Mm-hmm.
up and down really nice between that 20 and 80. That's what we like to see. Never undersold, never overbought, steady going there. And then you know you have a good floor. This is holding a floor. That's how you confirm with the RSI of holding a floor. Now,
Mm.
as soon as you see this happening on the hourly, you see that coiling on the bottom on these oversold conditions.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that coiling indicates volatility. Then you know you're gonna rip. When that happens, when that RSI start to do that,
Yeah.
that that coiling
Right, right.
up and down, up and down, up and
Right.
down, but
You've
stays
got
below
a
20. Oh yeah, rip.
yeah,
You
it's
know
more
that's
than a
a rip.
W. It's like a W and then another couple legs too.
The heartbeat just goes faster on the bottom, so you know
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be explosive. So it's coiling. We call that coiling of the RSI. And when that happens and it crosses up, what we call a golden cross, then it will make a rip. And it did, right? Actually, outperforming Bitcoin hardcore. So
So the
let's look on
Golden
the fourth.
Cross, real quick. Sorry to slow
Yeah.
you down, but
No, no.
can we go over that because you talk about the Golden Cross a lot, and it always goes over my head, but I just don't ever want to stop you. But I'd like to. I could actually just Google it. Let's see.
No, I'll help you. So when you have it still on the daily,
Uh huh.
right?
Let me
You
pull it
see
up.
that we're now coming above that 80 line. We're going against the ceiling of the RSI. All right, and then it can actually stay on that ceiling for quite a bit, especially on the lower time frames.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if you see it coming down, sometimes it gets a little bit of lift from that 80 points. Not that often. Not that often. If we're really bullish, it will do that. But when you see that curling down, we call that a death cross. That means we're going to have to retest some, right?
Hmm.
It will retest some. That indicator is never wrong. We're heavily overbought here.
Yeah.
It's overpriced. We're overpriced, so we got to test some.
So
So
you're saying
you
I
can
should
trade.
I should blast the top right now? No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking.
Top
You're
blasting,
saying we're
yeah.
good. Yeah, it's going to correct
You'll
itself,
be
and
top blasting on the hour. Yes, you would.
there you go.
So you wait for that RSI to come down again and do what it did before. Now, when it does come down, what are the levels that we're going to look for? Well, where the price traveled up a bit. So we see that that whole zone of 290 to $3 is actually a hefty buying zone. Bulls are actually buying there, and we saw that happening on that stochastic RSI that is trading below the 20 points, right? You see that coiling happened there. That was in the price zone of 290 to $3. So there'll be possibly in that region, that $3 region, there would possibly some retesting. Not necessarily so. We're gonna see what's happening on the daily. So on the daily, or let me see on the daily.
I did something to my chart, and on the right side, I wish. Do you think on your phone can you pull up YouTube maybe so you can see?
No, it will knock me out.
It will knock me
Oh,
out because
oh,
it's media. Yeah.
you okay? Okay, I wasn't sure if you had
It
another
will
way to
start. It will
access.
start using my sound and stuff, and it will knock me out. It will knock the space right out too.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
we'll be in the galaxy altogether.
Mm,
Not good.
so I wish maybe I could just screenshot it and send it to you. But on
Yeah.
my right side, on the y-axis on the far right, I have it listed as percentages, and then like when I switch to regular, then it's in billions. I can't figure out how to just see. I switched the top to USD. There's something that I have configured wrong, and it's driving me nuts, and I can't figure out how to switch it back here.
Right. Let me see in the more
I'm,
settings on it then too.
I'm gonna send you the screenshot real quick on
See what you
X,
make.
and
Yeah.
then
Normally you see that on when you just put on regular,
uh huh.
and then you maybe need to put something off. So if you take a screenshot, do it off the menu. Let me see your menu because you might have something else checked and why it does that. Get what I'm saying?
Which menu? The one along the top or the one on the left
No, the
side?
price menu when you were that's now percentage.
Uh huh.
Yes. Go there. When you hover over, you get the whole menu of changing that.
When
The auto fits data to screen, log price to bar ratio, scale price chart only, invert scale, regular percent index to
right.
one.
When I right
Yeah,
click it, yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right. Can you send me a screenshot of that because you might have some things together checked that will make it do
Jeez.
that.
Yeah. Okay. Let me. I'll screenshot this real quick. Cool. So if anyone else runs into this, maybe this will help somebody else out too. Because ever
Yeah.
since I configured it like this, it's been driving me nuts, and I don't remember what I clicked that did this, and I'm like, man. But I'm really starting to like TradingView the more that I use it and become familiar with it. Just talking to you, because I'm so used to just using Dex Screener and Coinbase Advanced, and like that's basically what I learned on. I learned on Coinbase, then Coinbase Advanced, then Phantom Wallet, which the chart on Phantom Wallet is pretty much useless.
But all of them have the same indicators, the same standardized indicators. And
Mm-hmm.
if you want something else, you go to TradingView. So I want you to set it from percent to regular, and I see what that looks like.
I did that, and then I have B's. Then I see that Sui's at 10.76 B. So I guess it's
That's the
volume. And
market cap. That's the market cap.
so when I go to regular, it says that. And then let's see what happens
Hmm.
when.
Well, you need regulars, just period.
Oh, there's reset price scale. Should I try that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see
yeah.
what that does. No, that didn't do it. Oh,
That didn't do.
man. It's so
Maybe we
weird.
need some. Maybe we need a longer time to fix all that. And
Oh, maybe. I was gonna say maybe if I click on the yeah. Anyway, we'll do something else. I'll mess around with this later. Sorry about that.
no problem. We'll fix it. Fix it after the space. We'll go over that.
Cool.
Everybody who just joined the space, welcome. I see Lem in there. Jay is in here. I see Mac is in here. If you guys want to be on stage and just go ahead and be cozy here, that's fine. We'll go ahead and do that. So what we're actually doing is if you go to the link up in the Jumbotron, it's a link to the YouTube stream where actually Tic is doing all this on his screen live. So you can, look with us, hopefully, to see what we're talking about and have a visual of what we're talking about. And that is just so helpful. So we finally figured out how to do this, and maybe we can even figure it out how to also stream on Space X stream, right? Not just Space, but X stream.
Yeah.
So you could, yeah, maybe that is possible too.
Cause
But let's continue with this. So
yeah.
when I
Yeah.
look
Anyway.
on the daily, and that
Mhm.
stochastic RSI is right up there. But not curling down yet. So for me, that indicates there's just a lot of bullishness going on with SUI in general, right? And it's now
Oh,
expressed in that chart.
how it's coiling at the top. How it retraced back at the top. The RSI.
Now the RSI on the daily, when we put it on the daily,
Uh
which
huh.
is the daily is a long-term trend, right? So the stochastic is a slower RSI, slower than the Connors RSI. It was much more in the moment, much more volatile. The stochastic RSI slows that down, that information, and especially on the larger time frames will give you a very good indication of where we are, right, with it. So
Mm-hmm.
on the daily, we are coming into that overbought territory, and so when that crosses down, there's something to the RSI here because, as you can tell, sometimes it does not come all the way down. It doesn't cool down in over sold conditions anymore. It sometimes gets a trend line on the RSI support, and that support for SUI on the daily trend, on the daily RSI trend line would be 63 points. So it can come down a little, retest, and if then I look at the chart and I see the price range, then I'm actually looking for that bounce on the three again if it ever comes down, right? If we're ever retesting those areas, price touch there enough so we don't per se have to go there. We have to keep in mind that bearish scenario because we're over bought on the daily. So just keep that always in mind. That's why we always stay liquid, because if it does happen, we can buy more there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're bullish. We're bullish. And the dominance is up there. So if Bitcoin is not going to hold its price, SUI is going to retouch the three because of the pressure of Bitcoin. That is just going to happen because the dominance is too high. We're not in alt season. But that also makes us very bullish on SUI because it's making these jumps, right? I mean, this is one hell of a trade if you have a future out, which I faded. I was too busy working today. And, but yeah, this is, if anybody traded that one, bless you.
Mm-hmm.
Those were big gains.
That's
Let's go.
awesome.
I see Lam is on stage. Hello, Lam. How are you doing? You sleep well?
Hey, Wild, hey, Tick. How are you guys?
Hey, hey, good morning.
Yeah, good
Doing
morning,
well,
good
man.
morning.
Good to see you
I am
again.
out and about getting some exercise, walking around. I already did my sprints this morning. I'm ready to go. And yes, I did make a trade. I did make a good long this morning. So happy days. How we doing? What are we talking about today?
Well, I am going to pay some attention to Sui because it's right now stealing the show, uh, outperforming the biddy with this dominance being so high. You might wonder what's going on in Sui. What catalyst did that? Well, nothing really. There's no news really. This is just what happens time and time again. What I've seen happen time and time again with Sui. People are just extremely bullish on it, and they FOMO on Sui hard. That's just what it says. And I have love for every chain because I love crypto. I love Bitcoin. I'm a Bitcoin maxi. If anything that I'm a maxi on, it's gonna be Bitcoin, right? It's gonna have to be Bitcoin. But you know, let's have a look at that new technology out there because these are the ones that are gonna go ahead into the future, and not every chain is gonna make it if they don't stay relevant with their uh, technology. Then they're gonna get left behind, and we gotta face that music. Even though some chains we really love and we utilize them possibly, and we have heart for them, but that doesn't mean they're gonna last forever. And we gotta keep an eye out for new opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Very very low cap, right? And so let's dive into that ecosystem. So what is that about? First, let me see if there's anything. Yeah. Yes. So Sui ranked now fifth in the DEX volume, right? And but it is picking up steam. And actually, a week ago, it said that it cannot sustain a rally. And look what happened. Look what's happening, right? That was just to make you sell a little bit more of that floor, scare you out of your bags. Don't fall for that shit. All right. So, what are we looking at on Sui? I'm looking at something on Sui that has massive utility, and is going to be happening, right? So, and then first of all, I got to look at Deep. Now, Deep Book. Uh, you got to pull it up on your stream. Oh, this is so awesome, you guys, that we have a stream so we can actually, look at these things.
For which one? I have the
Well,
right now. I have the Sui page open, but which one did you want me to pull
oh,
up?
Deep Book.
Let's see.
So the protocol is called
Ooh,
uh,
yeah,
Deep Book.
deepbook.tech.
Yes,
Okay, cool. I
and
got the site open. Yeah.
the cash tag is Deep, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Let me
Yeah.
see.
Got it.
Let's see. So if I go hashtag deep, let me open up. Let's see. Cool. This should be it right here. Deep USDT. So it's at 17 cents, right?
I hold on. Let me then look at because I have some other things open.
Hmm.
Um, go back to so many screens, you guys.
I have so many tabs and so
I
many.
sometimes have because
Yeah.
I have like three screens, but I have two mouse thingies. Sometimes I grab the wrong one. I'm in the wrong screen, you guys. That's hilarious
Nice.
because I'm actually looking at the screen. Why no worky? But
That's awesome.
but it's actually me doing the thing. All right, so like let's grab it. Hold on. Let's just go with this one. Yes, it's trading on 17 cents. Here we go. All right.
There
So,
we go.
all right. So, Deep Token is an integral to Sui's DeFi ecosystem, as Deep Book acts as the backbone of liquidity for DeFi on Sui. So, it's the liquidity layer for Sui. Massive utility. The Deep Token itself fuels the flywheel needed to sustain and grow Deep Book with greater trading efficiency, liquidity, and governance. So DEEP is used to pay trading and pool creation fees, with stakers earning governance rights and market makers receiving rebates for providing liquidity and facilitating trades. As DeFi grows on Sui, DEEP plays a crucial role in enhancing liquidity and improving trading and efficiency for both makers and takers. Staking DEEP offers a range of benefits for both traders and market makers. By committing deep to a specialized pool, users can enjoy reduced stake fees and decreases based on their trading volume. Additionally, providing liquidity and meeting the staking requirement of the pool will be eligible for maker incentives. That's why it's so. Um, Using Deep offers multiple use cases beyond governance. First, token stakers can earn rebates by providing that liquidity that we talked about, right? During periods of low liquidity, so they can amp it up when there is low liquidity, they can give out more rebates, ensuring a tighter spread and better trading executions for all the users. Yeah, deep. Yes, so that's Deep Token. It's liquidity layer for um, Sui. And so do your own research. We're going over that. I When it launched, I bought a lot of deep. I bought a lot of that floor, right? Because this is just inevitably what's going to happen. We saw that last alt season too. I hold a lot of Sui. This is basically how I do it. You don't need to do it. This is not financial advice, but this is just me doing what I do to make money. I take my tokens on the chain itself, so Sui, native token, the mommy chain. I hold that one the most. I take positions in like deep and other tokens I'm just going to mention here. I take smaller positions in those. Now, as soon as Sui is in the blue sky, right, in price discovery, I'm going to look to take some profits of Sui. And then I'm going to double down on these positions that I had in these tokens before. And so the 100% of SUI, 30% of that will be backed into stables for me, right? And 70% of my SUI gains then will go into the ecosystem, buffing up these utility tokens, which will run next, right? Because they're in their ecosystem. So these will get a bump. Also, mainly because things like Deep, things like Walrus Protocol that we're going to mention next, and a few others, uh, these tokens do not have their major listings yet. That's all gonna come still, right?
Wow.
So it's just hodl on there a little bit, and that is gonna be my plan. That's a plan I've written out. Sticking with it, sticking with your plan is gonna make you successful. Because what happens if you did not look at tokens in the ecosystem, this is exactly what's going to happen. I saw people do it. Myself did it. You,
Mm-hmm.
your Solana will be up, and then you're going to just buy everything that pumps. But sometimes you're top lasting, and sometimes you're not.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest blessing, the most excess you take when you take positions on the bottom, right? Before that rip. And then you do not need to panically look around what else you can trade. You already know. You have a plan. Your tokens were already picked, and you're just adding to your positions for the candles there. But you already have a position, so you add to that. So even if you add to that a little bit higher in price, your average is lower because you already had like a baggie there sitting there that you bought at the bottom, right? So you'll be in profit there in no time. That's just strategy. You always stay liquid, so I don't do that with 100% that I made on Sui, right? I'm doing that with 70% and then keep 30% to stay liquid for possibly other opportunities. That's basically the alpha in crypto is you got to stay liquid because you got to take opportunity. You don't selling a position for a new bright shiny object is the dumbest thing you can do, basically,
Mm-hmm.
right? That is just going to get you wrecked. You want to be liquid, so a new shiny thing comes along and you have some money to try. But if it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work out, you're still holding your good positions.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing to worry there.
I've given up so many that would have done very well, and then hindsight's 2020, and that's why trading is what it is. That's why so many people struggle with it too. And for me, it's like the rationalization that there's the risk reward. I'm like I'm losing money by just it's costing me money. The opportunity cost is costing me because my money's sitting here in this token that has no momentum. It's not moving here. So I'm going to swap it into something else that looks like it's on fire. And then what ends up happening is, I swap out that one, does, has a crazy rally. And it's like, but I'm no longer holding that position because I wanted to try a new flavor of the week,
Look, we all been there. We all made that quote unquote mistake, right?
Right.
If it's a mistake, but there are no mistakes. You should just learn from those things,
Yeah,
right?
it's not something that like I continue to do. It's like I learned from that, and I was like, okay, just like you're saying, you got to stay liquid. You just, I hold my position, and then if another opportunity looks good, I do my research, do the due diligence, and decide do I want to go ahead and put more money into the market right now, or do I want to wait to see if maybe a better entry comes along? Looking at
Hmm.
the deep chart, it looks like right now is a really good time to enter.
Yes, yes.
It's
That's
really
that's
good.
the thing. You gotta look at these gems, right? And you gotta do some
Mm-hmm.
research. And here we're
This is the
doing it
alpha right
together.
here.
We're doing it together in a space. Of course, I pre-screened some things already that I think are bullish. But go ahead, right? Discover on your own some more
Mm-hmm.
things on there because you might be bullish on some different things. I'm looking
And
for technology. I'm looking for that utility, right? Things
you,
that actually add
y-
and make Sui better.
yeah, and it's crazy to me because you've been talking about Sui for a week, and that's that's a good thing for two reasons. One, because that shows your conviction and you're bullish on something, but also you've so far we've watched Sui rally, with Bitcoin even better, performing even better than Bitcoin, and it's really cool to see these things actually unfold the way that the signals and indicators tell you they're going to go when you're looking at the chart. Like when you see that actually play out, it's like, okay, cool. Just like when you do the strategy tester and you do the your back, or you check your your strategy and see how your plays would play out.
Absolutely. And so there's always that conjunction with technical analysis to possibly look for a good floor. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, we always say in Bitcoin, this matters less. You can buy Bitcoin every day. If you did that for the last 40 years, you would be up 40% regardless of where the price was,
Mm-hmm.
right? But Bitcoin is also has the most stability in crypto because it's the number one. And so it is its volatility is still volatile, don't get me wrong, right? It
Right.
can rip and it can dip, but it's less rippy and dippy than other tokens are
Well,
for
another
sure, right?
thing that I noticed, or that I think that I was noticing, is with the RSI, the stochastic. What is it? The Stoke RSI. Um, Basically, when it's within those ranges on the RSI, then it's something that you can trade or even open up a liquidity pool on. I'm assuming that, and then is that the purpose of DeepBook? Is the liquidity layer, but do you open up liquidity
Yes.
pools on DeepBook? If am I following you correctly?
Yeah, well, no.
Okay, I apologize.
Works and I works a little differently than that, not directly, but it incentivizes through Deep. So you can through Deep, they
Oh, do
incentivize
staking?
the liquidity. Yes,
Okay,
by using that staking
and
mechanism.
oh, kind of like Jito Soul.
Yes, in a way. Yeah, there are some. Every chain needs things like this that
Mm-hmm.
incentivizes
Staking.
liquidity. Especially, they're going to give out more rewards, especially when there's low liquidity being added, right?
Hmm.
And then we see that in bear markets. And that's just to stabilize the price of SUI altogether. So it stabilizes SUI a lot. And that is what we need for big money to come in. Because big money likes a lot of liquidity. Big money is not going to buy when liquidity is low because it means they can't sell. And the price is going to be volatile. If they sell on themselves. Nobody wants that. So,
Mm-hmm.
do your research. Do your research. We're just scanning over those. Now we're going to Walrus Protocol, which has recently been launched. I think last month or like 3.5 weeks ago, something like that. So Walrus is a decentralized storage and data availability protocol designed for large binary files known as blobs. This just really means any file a user already uploads to like a Dropbox or something like that, right? So it provides a robust and cost-effective solution for storing unstructured content across decentralized storage nodes, right? Ensuring high availability and reliability even in the presence of Byzantine faults. Walrus leverages advanced erasure coding to maintain storage costs at approximately 5 times the size of the stored blobs, making it significantly more cost effective than the traditional full replication methods. The protocol integrates with the SUI blockchain for coordination, testing availability, and handling payments. Storage space and blobs are represented as resources on SUI, allowing smart contracts to manage their availability and life cycle. Walrus operates through a delegated proof of stake mechanism using its native token, a WAL, WAL, which is crucial for network operation and governance, right? Um, so it ensures coding. It's a decentralized storage nodes. It efficiently recovers mechanisms, so shared failures like within that system, and it has a Byzantine fault tolerance. Yeah, meaning that it can handle nodes that are faulty and malicious.
Hmm.
That's basically what that means. Um, yeah, the rest is getting a little bit. That would be too much. If we're looking
Technical.
at this right, yeah, if we're looking at the white paper, it gets a lot more technical than that. Um, but go ahead and look into Walrus. I'm
Mm-hmm.
bullish on it, right?
Yeah, I've
Also
got the
because
page up
on
right now,
Zoom.
kind of looking over the news, and their website is lit as hell. Like, have you
Yeah,
seen it?
yeah,
It's so
it's so
sick.
good. It's so sick,
I
and they
love these
have
graphics.
Wally. They have, I think they even have NFTs or something coming out. And
Okay.
look for these. I'm going in a deep dive. I mean, I'm going to have to visit spaces and talk to people and ask questions
Yeah.
about their dynamic NFT coding because the dynamic NFTs are going to be a thing in the future. We already kind of know, right? We feel it coming,
Mm-hmm.
and so I want to know more about it because I'm bullish on the NFTs. The contracting, the coding on there with the NFTs, especially the dynamic NFTs. Ika already came out with some, and yeah, so bullish on that. Now I
Yeah.
have a little bit of yeah,
It's
yeah.
so cool. I love this. Yeah, I'm following them on X, joining their Discord. They are doing a lot. This is so cool.
So instead of listening to me and then I'm being like, yeah, I'm so bullish on this and this, bye ape. Don't
Hmm.
do that. Add it to your watch list. Watch
Right.
that chart a
Yeah,
little
I'm
bit,
gonna follow
right?
them. I'm not gonna just like ape
Yeah.
into it, but I want to.
No,
I might,
that's
but
not how you do it.
right.
That's not how you
But
do it.
but
So
I'm
you go and
you
look,
see what they're all
see
about.
see what it's all about, right?
See
Go
what
look
if
at
they're
that
posting
chart.
every day. You can see they posted 22 hours ago. Whale tank, Sui whale tank. Walrus was one of the contestants. So, they're doing stuff every day. They're, posting every day, and
Oh yeah,
they're
yeah,
super, yeah, this is so cool. Yeah, so I'm really
yeah.
stoked that you showed me this, because I'm gonna, do some more research, kind of like learn about this, because that's what this is all about, But seeing new
Yes,
projects come along and developers bringing new things, pioneering new technologies and everything, like, it's awesome. Super bullish on anything that's coming along, that's, actually contributing something, and in such an
yes.
awesome way. Right on. Right on.
Very good. So what this is what you do, just put it on your watch list, get a little bit familiar with that chart, and go from there, and see what it's all about. Look at the website some more, get yourself a little familiar on X with it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sui community is talking a lot about Walrus, right? So people on X are constantly talking a lot about Walrus, very bullish. A lot of people got the airdrops. Hold on one moment.
Go ahead.
All right, I just pulled J Crypto up. And you guys, if you have questions and you want to just be on stage and ask them, you're more than welcome to. Or I'm not minding the comments as much because I'm looking at the screen too, and I guess tickets too at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, there's that. But hey, let's talk to some people. Hey Jay, how you doing?
How you doing, Wild? How you doing, Tic? All
Yo.
good?
Good. Good. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. I see you guys looking up CU. That's good, man, because I heard a lot of good stuff about it, and
Yes.
I have been watching the charts as well, also. So yeah, that's really good from you guys.
Well, thank you so much, Jay. Everybody, give Jay a follow. He's a chat in the space, or a great reply guy.
Not only just the reply guy,
I'm
but I'm
just
definitely.
look. I'm shilling you, right?
Yeah, I do see you as well, man. You're active and you bring the positive energy and stuff. So it's all good, man. We all connecting and we're trying to make it in this crypto space even more. So yeah, man. Bullish on you guys.
I'm bullish on you. We're doing our bit, and we got India here on stage too. Hello, India. How are you doing?
Good, good. I've created a new account. The other account, if you guys follow it, so go ahead and unfollow it. The reason I did it was starting off this account in the beginning, I was a reply guy. I replied to every big account, used to get 5 million impressions, but too much of replying might get you into probable spam permanently. So, uh, advice to everybody, moderate your replies, even if you're trying to farm impressions.
Damn.
Absolutely. Yeah. So give India a follow, you guys. We can't say this enough, right? Be authentic. I know you wanna hit the numbers and all, but
Mm-hmm.
we are all people. People, the algorithm and Elon likes it if we're just being ourselves. So they be a little bit more authentic. So going around raging, just doing your TM and let's fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's not bullish, right?
Well,
That's not
you can
you.
even
I hope it's
ask
not you.
Grok, can't you? You can ask Grok, hey,
Yes.
give me a schedule. How should I post in order to increase my visibility without
Yeah.
being considered spam? And Grok will actually give you a rundown of how
Yeah.
often and the frequency at which you should post.
Yeah. Also, you can ask Grok to analyze your account if you are. Sometimes I do that and be like, "Hey, can you spot something that is, considered spammy, or maybe I'm in danger too if I repeat that behavior?" And then Grok will actually analyze your account. And for me, the last time it did come up with something, it was because I was using the emojis a lot because that's me. When I post an emoji, I tend to drop five in there instead of one, right? And because I'm excited.
And
But yeah.
I was saying the algorithm is not a stupid algorithm. It keeps on growing and
Yes.
growing by day, week by week.
Yes. It
Now this
also
good
adapts.
morning GM post,
Hmm.
these GM posts are eventually going to fall into that probable spam side. So I recommend, from learning from my experience, try to put an extra 15 seconds into your reply. So, and on top of that, we'll get more engagement and you won't be put into probable spam.
Thank you, India. Yes,
Absolutely.
this is important, right? Don't just be. We all fall victim to that because we're sometimes in a hurry, and we're gonna. But here's one thing that I got too is that uh, uh, the algorithm will actually start to see you as well. So it's like training muscle. You're not going from 0 to 100 straight from the get-go. If you do that, you're getting wrecked. But if you slowly increase what you're doing every day, you do that slowly, the algorithm is being like, all right, right, fine with that, and grows a little bit with you. And the being in spaces is bullish because that is the uber signal of especially if you're on stage talking or requesting. That's actually like, yeah, you're not a bot, right? You're actually a person who speaks, and so you can leverage maybe that in a little way for maybe a little bit of boosting here and there, but don't think you can go ham just because of that, right?
Yeah, I heard something really cool yesterday that in Spaces I heard the Dojonal community talking about how they've realized that posting AI generated content onto Twitter, those images that are generated by ChatGPT, especially ChatGPT, because the political differences between Grok and ChatGPT, the algorithm make those posts less visible to people. People that have like kind of audited their own analytics have seen that their ChatGPT images postings are barely getting any views. So there's a workaround by taking either a screenshot or a photo, making the algorithm think that the images that you are posting are created by you. So whether it's take a screenshot, load that into an image editor, or just upload the screenshot directly, or taking a photo. But there is metadata that's in AI generated content that will prevent
Yes.
your profile from being visible to people.
Wow, it goes that far, huh?
That
Yes,
one,
India.
yeah, that's the metadata. Yeah.
And I wanted to ask about what about the animations? What can you do about the animation and changing the metadata on that if you use ChatGPT?
I haven't messed around. I use AI Studio for my animations, and then there's the other one as well. It's like Hailu or something, Hailu AI. But I haven't used. I messed around with the ChatGPT one a little bit. I do highly recommend check out the AI Studio Google. There is the video gen on the left side on the menu. You can generate 8-second videos that are extremely high quality in both 16:9 aspect ratio as well as landscape. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. So
Oh,
then
India, I thought India. Did you mean to leave yourself muted?
Yeah, I left myself muted. I was listening to you. Keep on going.
Oh, forgive me. I thought you had your hand up because you wanted to say something. But yeah, aistudio.google.com. I'm not affiliated with them or trying to plug them, but it's free to use, which is unreal. It's so awesome. I use it every day. And then the one that's by ChatGPT, the name is I can't remember the video generating. It's ChatGPT video is Sora. That's right. So, forgive me, is that what you've been using to generate your videos? Is Sora?
I use a Runway AI
Oh,
to animate. So basically, I'll generate the picture, whatever art I'm gonna have that I want to animate in ChatGPT,
mm,
and then send it to Runway
mm.
and get it animated. Now, how would the metadata work on that if I
That
want to reset?
that I'm not sure about. But one thing I heard is that you can actually change the metadata on any image. I don't know if it would work the same on videos, but through uploading it into an AI, I heard that it was tested with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was actually able to alter the metadata more so even than you would be able to just by going in and like trying to edit the properties. This actually like went into the code and modified that so that it was you can make it seem like a picture was taken from a device or like at a certain time, or where like that's pretty wild that ChatGPT is capable of doing that. But apparently some people tested this out, and that's some alpha for you though. That's
It's pretty wild.
yeah, that's wild.
Pretty wild. That's wild. That's where it is.
Cool.
So Elon really hates Chat GPT.
Exactly.
Basically, that's what we're coming down to
That's
here.
what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Mm. All right. So yeah, well, I figured I use OpenAI, and then I just posted it morning, and it did way better than my Chat GPT one. So that might
Wow.
be it. But if I post a half naked picture, it does even better. Let's go.
Shocker.
So just
Yeah,
a shocker.
I
All
don't
right.
buy it.
So get well. Go to the stream again. Go on your stream.
Which one?
Because we're gonna move on and look at the
Yes,
last one that I want to mention. Now I
let's
have
do it.
some more on. These are the ones that are up there, up there. So I looked at those ones, filtered them out a little bit, and then there is a lot more fun stuff on Sui for the rest of them as well. Maybe we should do that in the next space, right, and touch on
Yeah,
those
so
because
cool.
it gets to be a little bit much.
Yeah, I'm
To
recording
get
these
Yeah,
streams as well, and so they'll be
bullish,
uploaded. So this is yeah. Let's go. Let's go. But
bullish.
let's keep
So
going.
we're moving on to Sui Lend, right? Sui Lend.
Okay.
Its ticker is Send, SEND. So Sui Lend is the largest lending protocol on Sui, built by the team that was still behind, Soul Lend, right? With
Mm,
years of experience navigating the toughest crypto markets, the Suiland team has designed the Sui DeFi suite, offering lending, infinite liquid staking via Spring Sui, and superfluid AMM with Steam. And see how this is why I'm so bullish on Sui, because all these names, Sui in Mandarin means water.
mm-hmm.
Actually, you pronounce it as Sui, right? Yi bai
Right.
Sui, 1 cup of water. And
Awesome.
so every token will be like deep book. It will have something to do with water, right? It has somehow it's related to water, and it's just like steam, right? Walrus, right? It is somehow it just ties in so nicely together. It's so synchronized on there. So uh, that's how you recognize the Sui tokens, because they all have some sort of affinity with water.
Mm-hmm.
With Sui Lend, you can do the following: earn interest, borrow, leverage long, short, swap, liquid stake Sui with Spring Sui, or provide liquidity with Steam. So it has this purpose, right? It launched in March 24th, so it's a year old, and it became the number one DeFi protocol on Sui. Not anymore. They got to share, right? They got to share. So yeah, look into that one. I mean, Anons with no money, they want to borrow some maybe, and of course a team from Solent, right? Uh, so go ahead and look into that one. So what I'm
Yeah.
trying to do is get you more aware of these tokens. You do not need to buy everything that I say or buy them at all, right? Just get yourself familiarized with these things. So when stuff happens quickly, right, you have a go-to to some things that could be, and in all possibility will be, very bullish.
Mm-hmm.
They will catch volume. That's because their liquidity pools are in Sui. Sui's going to pump, so that inevitably going to pump these tokens. We saw that happening on Solana last bull run as well. But things happen quickly, you guys. So you got to put these things on a list and give some effort for your gains there, right? Go look over some things. I'm just going to mention the ones that I actually have them in my portfolio, but there is such a thing as diversifying too much in a portfolio. That would be me. That's a flaw, because I'm bullish on everything, and I'm just like, yeah, bye bye. And but yeah, you gotta manage that all too, especially in alt season. You gotta manage
It's
that.
a
So
lot of
you know,
screens to watch.
that's a lot to watch, because things will pop off at the same time, and or quickly in rapid succession, and so you'll be like a maniac. So I need to condense some, but I have a hard time doing that, really. And with my meme coins, I don't even care if I round trip some. If my heart is there, then I'm like, yeah,
Real quick,
we're gonna make so
you
much
don't think
money.
that you could code a bot for yourself that could like manage your own
Possibly, yes.
wallets,
but
like
then still
something
do
like
that.
that, I would want to code
Yeah,
myself so that I wouldn't run the risk of dealing with any like,
that would
software
be something
that's
to.
yeah.
You know what? Let's write it down in the brilliant
Yeah,
ideas.
because I've been thinking about doing stuff like that with all the vibe coding stuff. It's so easy to make
Yeah.
yourself apps in Python,
Oh yeah,
whatever, and
Python
yeah,
super easy too.
code me a little application in Python that does X, Y, and Z, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's wild.
yeah. Maybe you can. Yeah, it's just that it can give you a good overview. I could see where I could code it to give you a good overview of what's going on in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I might just want something that executes the
that
transactions then
manages your
too. But
wallet
that,
because those APIs
yeah,
are so easily accessible now. Like the
yeah.
yeah, so that's something to
And then
think about.
maybe even per chain do that, right? So if you're in its ecosystem,
Sick.
it is that we can do it per chain. Oh my God, yeah.
That's
You
super
can even
bullish.
you can even make NFTs for that to connect that utility. Let's write that down.
Yeah,
This is what happens when you mastermind like this. I get good
yeah.
ideas all the time. Write those down. Brilliant that is. All right. So with this, I just want you to be exposed to Sui in this way by me giving information about what's on there. However, you are responsible for your own decisions. Uh, it would be smart though to just keep an eye on these things or do some research yourself. Slap them on your watch list so you get familiar with the chart and how it moves, where the floors are, right? And Sui is very cheap. If you decide to DCA in any of it, you can do that with so little money, right? And just to have little exposure, I think on Sui and its ecosystem is going to do well. That's just my opinion. Also, not financial advice. I just got to keep giving the disclaimer. Um, and that's not because guys, you really got to do your end. There's nobody here in this space that can tell you what to do with your money,
Exactly.
right? You got to do your due diligence if you want to max out your gains. And you know, eh, when these things pop off, you will FOMO. I will FOMO. Everybody in this room will be in states of euphoria from here to Tokyo. I tell you. So it's really needed that you need to have a plan and you need to look at things on forehand. The time to do that is now, right? Every day
Right
learn a
now.
little. Yeah, it's right now. You got to start right now doing that, because
Mm-hmm.
the more you have a plan, the less likely you are to deviate from it, and the more successful you'll be. It's the same as with a diet. If you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, right? If you're not writing things down, you cannot manage it, right? But you can't, what you're not measuring, you're not managing. So it's just, you might think you're going to have big gains, you might think you're in a calorie deficit and losing weight, but the scale says you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And in crypto, in that market, you're going to FOMO and then you're wiped out. So you're not making those max gains that you had in mind
Mm-hmm.
coming into crypto in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you really got to mind that, and just spend 5 to 10 minutes each day can make you 200-300% better at what you're doing already. That's just with 5-10 minutes of your time investment there, and you're kind of worth it because it's your money. You worked for it, right? I don't care what you make an hour. You spend precious time of your life working, getting that money. So treat it with respect in that regards too, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just my little preach. Soapbox moment. Oh, this is gonna be on the stream on YouTube, you guys. So embarrassing.
Very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys, last words, ideas, different topic. Go ahead, hit me. Wham, Jay. Anybody who wants to come up on stage? I see Grammy in there. Grammy, mad respect in crypto, right? Doing it, making life changes for the better.
Hell yeah.
I got a quick question for
That's
you, Wild.
inspiring.
Yes. All right. Who has the question?
So,
Lamb? Yeah.
Lamb, yeah, yeah. So, regarding the SUI stuff, we know there's obviously stuff going on in the background there. But as a general sense, should we be looking for other layer ones to do a similar move? Could this be maybe even a sign of like, you know, Bitcoin moving up further to the 95 later and the also doing it ahead of time like we saw a couple days ago? Anything like that?
Well, I'm looking at some bullish stuff that I own. So everything that's green right now is basically my portfolio. And that's because I'm looking at these tokens for some of them even for 3 or 4 years or since their launch, and they're on my list. I'm looking at 300 tokens every day, and in that way you get a good scope of what's bullish and what's not, what's outperforming Bitcoin. So we can name some right now that are outperforming Bitcoin. These are in the AI narrative, and that just tells me AI is going to be hot, right? Just like a layer, there's one chain that always is hot. And I think that's going to be Sui. I just have to be honest about that, just by the way it behaves. Injective is up there too, but it's kind of different because it is catering more to that financial side. So we might not see what it actually does really good, because if you're not in there. Nee, geen lijm gebruiken. Is niet goed voor vogels. Mogen ze niet hebben. Sorry. Um, that was Dutch. uh, we're getting another bird. We're making some toys. So yeah, so we might not see really what we can build on there ourselves in the DeFi, right? So that's different, but definitely up there. Also now I outperform Bitcoin again. That it does that on repeat. Then we look at Tau, right? Also AI narrative there, also ripping, outperforming. So I'm looking at that Thai token that we were talking about. Boom, again 10% on the up. Also very bullish there. AI narrative on Solana is going to be hot because Solana is hot. Yeah, the AI narrative there I think would run harder. So keep your eye out for some AI stuff on Solana for that. Um, Game narrative still very hot. That Nakamoto games, fucking rips every time this happens in the market, right? Also now outperforming. So I'm looking at these coins that are on the regular outperforming Bitcoin. It means people are super bullish on those. So I want to have those, right? I want to research them first, and then what's going on there? Why is it doing like this? And I'm getting in, right? I'm gonna DCA in right there. And these are my hodlers, right? Sometimes I trade them in futures if I see something clearly going on for a rip or a dip. And but I definitely hold them for long term as well, especially for the alt season. I'm looking also at some that are still on the floor, but I think are bullish because they have yet to be discovered. And then I'm looking at um, Core Chain, right? Rubs the shoulders with the Bitty coin. That's what it does. Bullish on Bitcoin. Core Chain is not going to leave behind. I think they get, because they rub shoulders with Bitcoin, they're really suffering even more from the dominance of Bitcoin in this way. But I'm not fading it, right? I'm putting it on there. Jasmine is constantly outperforming, but today, 2% on down, and so yeah, yeah. About the meme tokens on Sui, we have Suinami here is a low cap bullish ticker on Sui. There's Axel, who I know the developer, the founder of, right? Keith. He's always in spaces, a doctor, but is always in around for questions and answers. And so an Axolotl on Sui. There's of course Lofi, which is more in the Cabal region than anything else, right? There's Hippo as well, and so there's a lot of fun stuff on Sui that is very, the meme tokens there is very, the amount is very small. So the ones that make noise is maybe like 10 or 15 meme tokens right now on that side. So the considering ETH has thousands of meme tokens and Solana has thousands of meme tokens, yeah, it's kind of like, maybe slightly little moon baggies here and there. I see Crip wants to come up. But yeah, Lem, that's what I'm not seeing yet, because I see a lot still pulling up on Bitcoin because of that, dominance. And but I see my runners doing well and outperforming. But I'm not seeing any indication that um, the most of them are still looking at Bitcoin like, what you're going to do. And I think that's because of the daily stochastic RSI, right? That's banging against that ceiling and constantly in overbought condition. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's just going to be a thing. I think what we need to see is a little bit of retesting to calm that down a bit, and then not taking it too far out, right? hold that 90 line.
Right.
And that's
Well,
just
thank you. I
a
appreciate it.
psychological thing, that 90, right? So here's maybe a little bit of a trading trick. So if you're playing low cap, right, you look at market cap. If you're higher, we're looking at price, because it's very hard for our brain to be like, yes, I'm going to sell at 1.364 billion market cap. You not do that, right? So if you're playing low cap, you're looking for these psychology barriers, and that's going to be either coming up to 1 million. Well, you know that 1 million is going to be resistance, either if we're in price discovery, right? So 1 million will not be reached. They will be selling in that 950K market cap range, right? Because people set their orders always below the resistance line. That's actually what creates a bull flag sometimes, right? Because we're trading against just a little bit under that resistance. So every time you make a lower low, we're getting in that channel. That's how you create a bull flag, actually. And when you're playing nano cap and you're sub 100K, well, 100K is going to be a resistance in people's mind. 200K is going to be, right? And for the prices, it's going to be $1, $10. These prices are psychological targets, psychological resistance. And so the other way around for support, right? So for Bitcoin, that 90K support is going to be psychologically something that we should hold, because falling through that is gonna feels like we're losing some faith there, right? Because that 90 is just gonna be a thing. So I would love to see a little bit of retesting going on to calm that RSI down. So when that does curl up into that golden cross, when it crosses from the bottom, it's a golden cross on the daily, that will inevitably make that weekly stochastic cross up as well. And that weekly stochastic, when we have that, usually we're going for another all-time high. Usually,
Wild.
yeah.
Which chart was it that you're looking at? This last one. Forgive me, I got
Oh,
sidetracked.
Bitcoin. I was talking about Bitcoin at the
Okay, cool.
moment.
Because I was pulling up a bunch of charts as you
Uh,
were listing them off, and so
Wait, there's
uh,
one. I'm just looking at Bitcoin.
okay,
For
cool.
now, for usually every trade except for my section of outperforming market runners, these are my golden picks. They're in a special section on my
Yeah,
watch list on my trading view, and they are the ones that outperform. So when I look at dominance,
yeah.
these are not complying to the dominance rules at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like at all. So for the rest of the portfolio or the rest of the tokens, I am looking at the dominance, because if I want to trade, right, if the dominance high, I just have to look at Bitcoin. If Bitcoin down, possibly these tokens are down too. If Bitcoin is threatening to go down, these coins will go down hard too. And that's where my shorts are going to be then. So I'm
Yeah.
looking for shorts then. If Bitcoin curls up, then I'm looking for longs in the rest of the market too. That's just because the dominance high and everything follows Bitcoin. Yeah, Crip, you have your hand up. High five. How you doing?
Hey, well, just quick shout out here, and then I'll get to my question. Because as soon as I hopped in, you were talking about Sui and some of the tokens on there, and I had a question about one. But shout out to you for actually talking about the stuff people don't want to talk about on Spaces. It seems like a lot of people are scared to give their analysis and advice sometimes. So shout out to you for breaking some stuff down. And I did want to ask, what do you feel about Walrus Protocol? I actually did get an airdrop. I didn't really even know what I was getting into. I just, was interacting, and I ended up getting an airdrop about 900 tokens, and then doing my research after. Kind of really excited about it, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about it.
Well, if you don't hear it, it's not on your timeline. Go follow some people in Sui, because everybody in the Sui community is talking about Walrus. And not just because the airdrops, I got them too. If you had a Sui wallet, you were also more eligible for it. And you just had to do a few things for it. But yeah, a lot of people are talking about it actually. A lot of Sui is also in Discord. Might not be that visible on X, right? But there's a big Sui community on X. So make friends there, and get that information on your timeline then too. And I should be posting a little bit more about these things too, and posting charts a lot more for trading and stuff. But yeah, I'm just happy that I picked up spaces right now, and of course I run a business, so it's a little bit hectic here and there. But I love crypto too, and I love to share. And I think we should make. I hate milk toast fence sitting. I hate when people do that. You can tell here what you're bullish on and your reasons why. That's what I'm doing. Right. And I'm watching the market. I'm pretty sure I'm confident of myself that trends that I've seen now unfolding over longer periods of time, outperforming market constantly every time again. Why can I not mention that, right? What I'm seeing. And
One
like I said,
hundred percent.
it's non-financial advice. You need to do your own research. That's up to you. You have responsibility of your own money. That's your money. And but have it on your watch list, right? Because like I said before, when things happen quickly and then look for positions in bullish tokens, you're too late. You're gonna top blast everything. And maybe you make some money, but you're not maxing out. And the whole spiel is also stay liquid while going through that process. Like I said before, 100% of my SUI bags, 70% of that going to the ecosystem, 30% of that, that's something I calculated on forehand. 30% is going into back into USDT because I got to stay liquid for other opportunities that might be happening around that time, or that's going to be my gains profit bag that I'm going to buy the floor of Bitcoin with later on.
I do see some SUI accounts in here. You brought up a great point. I think you're right. I'm not into the SUI ecosystem that much, so I think just my exposure is low. That's why I'm not getting the information that I'm seeking. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do see some SUI accounts on here. Let me get some follows. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna ask if Millie comes up because Millie is the first meme token on Sui. It's the oldest dog out there, called Millie. Still active, still in spaces, always speaking, always wanting to drop the alpha. Knows so much more about Sui than I do, actually. I think. And so if Millie has time to come up, I just asked him to come up and wait. If not, then go give Millie a follow, you guys, because really worth it. I mean, Millie was on that chain when nobody else was there with the meme coins, right? And that's hard. That takes dedication to push a project forward, because you are the one that's screaming in the desert, right? Basically, and you got to be dedicated and self motivated all the time to keep going and be bullish on it, right? So yeah, we have Millie here. Millie, welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for being here because we were talking on. So we were also streaming on YouTube, Millie. So give your shill, your best shill of Millie. Let's go.
Put me on the spot, huh? What's going on, guys?
Oh, always, my guy. You know me.
No, what's going on? No,
Hey,
so I don't
Millie.
know if we're actually the oldest meme on the whole network. I know there's a couple that were really, really close to us, but as far as like, I just put a post out there today. Name one meme coin on the Sui network that's 10 plus months old. Still grinding and still active, and we're the only one. Go check it out. There was plenty other ones that still kind of, they did a great, and then they just kind of disappeared, and they're still disappeared now to this day. And it's just crazy how this whole area works. But anyways, we created this meme. It's a meme community token. Our community designed ourselves. We have a community that's been together for a couple cycles now, just doing trading and gaming and just kind of exploring. And we found Sui super early, fell in love with it, and we knew there was like zero memes over here. So we wanted to obviously have some type of first mover advantage and also kind of stick with it and keep grinding and just keep building this brand out. It's not just a meme coin; it's a brand, right? So we're avid gamers, avid traders. We're also helping IRL dogs at the same time. So with the integrations of the NFTs coming out soon, we're going to tie in the meme coin with the NFT, so you'll be able to stake it. There's going to be a Millie Vault, so you can have some rewards. There's a reward system coming out soon, and there's a couple of different dApps that the Sui network is lacking as far as gaming and trading that we are going to be diving into. So yeah, we kind of built it out. It's been a slow, hard grind. We had a very good initial, and then obviously there was like no launch pads for memes when we started, so we had to create our own community LPs, and like there was only a couple places. Like the only place where there really was Aftermath, and then Turbos came out, so we had an LP issue. It was looked like an arbitrage bot. Someone someone bought at our I guess LP from Aftermath to Turbos. Anyways, I put a bunch of money into Turbos for an LP as recommended initially, and then someone ended up arbitraging. I had no clue about LPs. I was kind of new to the DeFi sector as far as like LPs and memes and stuff. So I ended up losing a big chunk of Sui or whatever, but it was all good. I kind of swallowed it, and I was like, well, crap, we got to keep building, right? So we airdropped Evan.Sui, the Miston Labs, one of the founders, 10% of our supply actually, and we had a ton of memes with him. He actually follows Millie. He engages sometimes, likes her posts. But we send him a great big kind of letter of what we wanted to do. We want to onboard Web 2 to Web 3. We also want to onboard other people from other ecosystems, whether it's through gaming or trading or meme coins, right? So we're going to be hosting a lot of spaces, a lot of educational stuff. I know Wild's a good trader in here too, but we're also a bunch of avid traders as well. So we want to educate people in every different sector. And, as far as like the SUI ecosystem, it's very bullish on gaming, right? So we're going to have a gaming team, have gaming tournaments, gaming squad. There's going to be a Millie squad. We're going to host tournaments and stuff, like I said. And, the SUI handheld just sold out, and we're actually going to have a giveaway. We're giving away probably like $5,000 worth of prizes once we mint out this NFT, and one of them is actually a Sui play. But the unique thing is we have an NFT coming out that's actually going to be a 9% royalty that's going back to IRL dogs, and there's going to be a treasury for it. So, if people are trading on the secondary or if people are minting, the mint actually 30% of the proceeds from the mint's going directly back to IRL dogs too. So we're going to do more of like an IRL type of theme, do some videos, get some more Millie merch coming out, go to these SUI events, kind of get networked. Again, I came in the SUI network super early. Been bullish ever since. I've networked with all the OGs from the space. I know they know me. They have Millie. They support us, and I think this is going to go very, very well. And but yeah, there's probably like 15 other things I'm probably missing. But if you guys have any questions about what we are, who we are, and what our plans are and vision are, more than happy to ask any questions or
Yes.
answer. Sorry.
Also, please, Millie, go ahead and pin something up, right? Tick, are you there, Tick? Tick, 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 tick.
Yes,
What's
yes.
the
Go
tick?
ahead.
Can you pull up the website of Millie and go to Millie's profile? Pull up the website on your stream. So the website is viewable on YouTube at the same time. Millie, we're just writing this technology right now. Let's go. I see Crip has a
Give
question
me
or one sec.
1 second. Yeah, let me pull it up.
Sure.
Forgive me.
Sure.
Sorry, well, like literally,
There we go. I
I
got it.
was telling myself for the last month I wanted more exposure to Sui, so I've been, buying into that ecosystem, and probably a good 25% of my bags are Sui, and it's been paying off. So I welcome all this information. I did give you a follow notice on for you, Millie. I love that shill. Like I've noticed the difference between the Sui creators and the other creators. It's very more it's a lot more humble in the way that y'all approach. Y'all put technology and what you're actually doing first. I've noticed that is a trend. And the other one you mentioned, wild axolotl, I don't really know how to pronounce it, but I have a nice
Exo,
bag of that too.
Exo,
Yeah,
right? Yes, and I'm actually in Team Nami. That's why Nami's up here.
that's my
So
dog's name. What the heck?
yes, yes,
It's a
Nami.
Shiba Inu named Nami. Oh wow.
Yes, it's well. This is synchronicity playing out for you. So look, I got to give it to Millie because when you are early on a chain, and even when Nami came on there, right? Nami did a run up to 5 mil in that October move of Sui outperforming the market, right? When Sui pumps, all the meme coins are pumping hard too. Look at these. Like Nami just made like 54% today. So, anyways, enough of my soft chill in there. Hey, hey, just shameless plug. Anyway, Millie, mad respect because even when Nami was on there in October, you guys, the sniper bots, all the stuff you normally find on chains that's already there was not there on Sui, hardly there in October, and cannot even imagine Millie just starting out there, right? And not even having like a launch pad. You need to scramble your liquidity together. You need to do
Yeah,
all of that
there was no
yourself.
one over here as well. You got to keep
There's
that in
no,
mind.
yeah, yeah,
Sui was like 40 or 50 cents, and
yes,
we're all doing these airdrops and DeFi, and like Deep was
yeah,
just coming out, and just all
yeah,
kinds of crazy things were just starting to evolve. And But yeah, and then it's really nice to see all these people coming over too. Like I'm super chill, super down to earth guy. Millie's actually my IRL dog. She has a Medium article and a real story behind her. You know, no one really wanted her, and at 6 months we adopted her, and she's actually a licensed tracking dog now. So she has a purpose, and she's a really super gentle, very nice dog. So you know, that's our theme and that's our motto. You know, German Shepherds are very protective, very resilient, and they don't lay down if you haven't noticed. So, but yeah, I'm always here to help you guys. I'm like I said, I'm very chill. I love to trade, love to educate, love to game, and but yeah, I love, like you said, the Sui ecosystem is very. It's kind of still a little bit smaller in the sense of like comparatively to like Sui or Solana. I mean, as far as like meme coins and projects and stuff. So now's the time to get over there and network with these people that are building, because some of these people have been here for, you know, 10 months to a year, and some people are just coming over now, which is great. And you're seeing a lot of good collaborations right now, which is, again, now's the time to do it, because once the mass starts flowing over here, it's just going to be like, you know, almost
So
like
hectic.
Solana back in the
Yeah,
early days. So just be careful, and, you know, trust goes a long way with me. And you got to keep your network small, obviously. But yeah, just try to get over here soon and just try to network, because yeah, everyone's down to earth and super chill over here for the most part. And the grifters, you know, everyone calls them out, and just it's kind of cool over here.
Yeah, I've
You
noticed
know,
that,
support
bro.
each other
I've
and
noticed
call each
that.
other out and stuff.
Millie is in my tribe for sure, for sure, and a lot of other founders on Sui are. And if you go into their spaces, there is no P2P, right? You support, everybody supports each other. Tokens are in each other's spaces, perfectly fine. Talk about pull them up, chill them, right? Exposure, but don't care, because there is going to be enough on Sui for everybody. I mean, plenty abound, right? So very warm welcome always in Sui spaces. You guys, you go there and get some alpha and
One quick
around.
question, Wild, if you
Yeah.
don't mind.
Mm.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's
No.
always tough figuring out when to hop in on these spaces, but yeah, I just had another question I wanted to ask. Do y'all recommend, and y'all don't have to show if y'all don't want to, do y'all recommend a mix of Raiden and Turbos for your you know mm, coin trading? Because that's the part I'm kind of lagging behind on, like the
Yeah.
sweet infrastructure
Yeah.
to make stuff click.
So I am using Raiden X by a lot because I find it just easy. Just like Bullx for Solana, I find it easier
Which
to
one is
use
that, Wild?
Raiden X. It's in my. You guys are gonna show myself. Here we go. In my bio, there's a link to Raiden X with my referral link. If you
Yeah, yeah.
want to
We
go
got,
ahead,
yeah, of
bless
course.
me.
We got to support that. Of course, we'll
Yeah.
support that.
So go ahead, and
It's
that's Raiden
good
X.
info.
It's like Bull X for Solana and the lot, right? And then Raiden X is for Sui.
Okay. Yeah, because that was my question too. So
Yes, yes, and it's a through TG, right? Just like Bull X is, and um, by the way, some people were asking me for a link for Neo, but I could only send out 5 links for Neo. Funny enough, right? They restrict that, so I don't have any more referral links for Neo because Neo is on invite only, right? So gotta find somebody else.
yeah,
And find somebody else.
and if you
But
don't got Neo, get Neo.
yeah,
That's the one.
that's the one. So yeah, you guys, that's go get your information on Sue. Go join some spaces. Come hear some founders, right? Don't just listen to me. Don't just listen to Millie. Go ahead into, even though Millie is in these spaces a lot. and not gonna lie, they're epic traders too, right? Learn really, if you think that you're learning from me, that you're gonna learn a lot from them as well. So that's why I give them a follow, and you know see what they're posting about, get some alpha. So yeah, Millie, thank you for
Yeah,
coming.
quick update. If you were in the group today, you would have caught
I
500% short that with
I
us, and then you would have caught Suey at 306 breaking out. So it was a couple good trades. You know, again, we
I
trade every
did get
day. So
Sui. I did get Sui
oh, you
because
did
I
it.
was watching
Nice. You
it.
know, it
Yeah.
looked like it was going to try to go down, but as far comparatively
Oh,
compared to like Solana, all the other alts, it was definitely the strongest one this
yes.
morning, and
Yes. Yes.
a couple of
Oh, I
the
follow
strategies
Bones
we
here,
use
but I'll be
definitely.
here every day from here on out. I follow Bones, but I'm glad to know that you have the spaces running.
Good. Yes, Millie. Well, you know what? I needed to do a lot more work today, and so I cannot be. I find it always some hard. It's hard for me to combine what I do with doing crypto. And if I have futures out, I tend to not have those out while I work because it's in the back of my mind and I cannot be a good trainer for people. So I got to be with them in the moment. They pay me a lot of money an hour too. So sometimes I miss out on trades, but yeah, I'm definitely looking in the group always a lot, and just I'm not always saying something because of the busyness. I'm still um, working a lot of hours a day trying to manage everything, but it's all a lot of fun. I'm not complaining, absolutely not. But I'm mining also as much fiat. That's what we call work, right? When you work, you're mining fiat. So I'm mining some more fiat to buff up the bags because I'm just so bullish on the Bitcoin. All right, so moving on here, we have another one on stage. It's a Gin Token. Gin Token. Hello, how you doing?
Hello, fantastic space, and I mean, I'm with Volt, but I didn't come up to shill Volt. I really wanted to come up and just say like how fantastic the space is, and thank you guys for starting this up because it's rare to come across a space that is just so open with their teaching and so able to sort of reach, I think, so many different people. And so I just really wanted to come up and say like you guys are incredible, and just thank you, and you guys have all seem to be sort of working together, the information you guys are putting out, and I've been just sort of clicking on sort of all sorts of doginals and the information you guys are sort of putting out in your profiles and is out there sort of just to help everybody. I mean, I love that kind of person, in the space, and I think that we really, I mean, there is so much room for everybody in the space. That's sort of the philosophy that I work with, and I just wanted to say, like, shout out to all of you guys. Anyways, you guys are definitely people that I want to be around, resonate with, and just thank you for everything you guys are doing. And it's very rare. And your manner, the way in which you do teach, it is just, um, I get bored, with so many people because they end up talking about themselves, kind of thing, right? And that's not what knowledge is about. It's about just sort of sharing what you know and using your skills and your experience, right? But so many people get wrapped up in themselves. This is different. I just love it. So I just want to say thank you. And I think more people need to know about you guys as individuals, what you're doing as groups, as projects. So I host regular share spaces for under the Voltino official banner every Wednesday. It's an open mic. You guys are all welcome to attend anytime you want, 6 p.m. Eastern. Next week, we're actually turning it into a mega space, so it's going to start at 4 p.m. Eastern. Anybody is welcome to attend. Just shoot me a DM for the mega space one, and I'll make sure to get you on that list. But every Wednesday, 6 p.m., just pop in, and it's open mic. Seriously, love to have any of you and any of your friends for sure. And as far as Sui, I love Sui. I just sort of feel like this is definitely one that is going to make an impact in the future. And my favorite play, just putting it out there, is DeLorean, which is about to launch any day now. They've got an NFT project, and I mean, anybody Back to the Future, right? I mean, Christopher Lloyd is making the commercials for this one. Talk about Web 2 coming into Web 3, right? We're talking about major industry here. They are doing some incredible things. So take a look at DeLorean. They're on X. Sui is a major benefactor, like the major involved with this one, and like huge things going on. They're literally in their NFTs. They actually airdropped a whole bunch of NFTs before I got involved with them. They actually airdropped a whole bunch of NFTs, and then now they're on Tradeport. You can still get some, but the original before they actually opened them because they were closed, and then they opened them up. They were actually giving away one DeLorean, a 2026 DeLorean in their NFTs. It's incredible. There's all sorts of other gifts. If you own them, you're going to get airdrops of DeLorean. But the TGE is like any time now. So go and take a look. It's a really cool project. What they're doing, what they're building on Sui. I mean, it's like first to market. Everything about DeLorean is going to be on the blockchain. And if you like cars, if you're interested in this project, go and look up Super Blondie. Her most views watched ever is her review of the DeLorean from about a year ago. This was all part of it. They've been building this for 3 years, building out for this launch. Anyways, that's my tip for Sui.
Awesome. Well, Jen, girl, you can chill. I'm in awe.
What's the
It's very
ticker?
rare that I get
What's
really
the
good
ticker
shares like
for it
this.
for the DeLorean?
Pin something on top about that so people can go and look at some stuff and bookmark that, right?
What's
And
that ticker for DeLorean?
I think it's in it, the account is DeLorean Labs, right?
yes, let's wait for
Yeah,
some so
yeah.
Jen can
Okay, that's what I thought.
take some
DeLorean
time.
Labs. Cool. I got that one open. Awesome.
So Jen can take up pin up something. Let's give her some time to do so. Thank you for giving us some alpha, Jen. Thank you.
You're
That's awesome.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
And of course, the vault community, you guys always represent. Don't fade a vault community. Don't fade doginals. Don't fade these doginal dogs. Don't fade what's out there. The believers that have conviction that are out there helping other people, being bullish on themselves and still helping other people forward, right? Because that is the way. That's the way of the world. And that should be the way in crypto because that's up to us. There's no P2P here. The blessings, there's enough to bless us all multiplied. So don't worry about any of that. You guys, I actually need to close the space now. And I wanted to give some alpha on the space tomorrow because Tick, I need to do it possibly a little earlier. Are you up for that? Because
Yeah.
look, it's gonna be King's Day here on Saturday. That's a big deal in the Netherlands, King's Day.
Cool.
Everybody goes all out dressed in orange on the streets. There is flea markets, drinking, eating. There's everybody's out on the town, and
Awesome.
so I gotta go rounds, right? I gotta do my rounds there in orange, my
Nice.
orange tracksuit.
There
so
we go.
that begins on Friday night. So we just don't take it just by the day. Begins on Friday night. So I forgot that we just have our space time. So
Hmm.
uh, I will talk to you in the DMs about a possible time earlier
Let's
and
do it.
still have the space and still be continuing, right?
Hmm.
Being on track with that. We don't want to drop the bar on that. But I am also this morning something happened. This is how synchronicity works, you guys. I talked with my daughter. We have two birds, one big one small one. And the small one kind of needs a friend because the big one kind of only loves my daughter. And we were talking about that. Hey, maybe we should get a bird for as a friend for him. And uh, and so we never talked about it again. But a few days later, like this morning, I got a message on WhatsApp like, "Hey, would you be able to adopt a bird that was found and has no home?" And I was like, "Bring it." And so they're gonna bring it in the next 15 minutes. So we have
Okay.
everything ready for it.
Awesome.
And yeah, you guys, that's just
Wow,
how
that's crazy.
synchronicity
I can
plays
hear a
out.
bird in the background right now, I think.
All animals and people in my life come in divine time with divine purpose. I believe it's as crazy as it sounds, as scientific as I am, right? Especially the animals, they come into your world and they just be your friend. And they come into to things like this. You never pick them. You never go out and pick them. They just pick you
Yeah.
somehow,
That's how
somewhere.
mine are. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And those are the best. Those are the best little fur friends and bird friends and whatever friends we can get to have. So I want to just thank everybody for coming into this space. I hope you value the information and that we give something of value. Hopefully that we pumped your bags a little because that's what we're here to do. Bless everybody who made gains today. Bless everybody who's going to make the gains tomorrow, right? Just huddle on, believe in something because that's a big part of what's going on here. And don't get shaken out. Don't be talked out. Don't be fudded out of any of your bags. If you're bullish, that's enough. And if you're not bullish on it, then you need to move on, right? And you maybe overinvested, did something wrong there. But I like to thank everybody. We'll be pumping your bags again tomorrow. Drop us the tickers that we need to talk about. Come on stage, chill your little heart out, right? It's good. Have a presence. Start speaking. You're welcome here. It's a warm space. I don't judge anybody. Anybody's allowed to speak here. And so, yeah, bless you all. And we'll see you again tomorrow, possibly a little bit earlier, but I will get the link out and so you'll know. Yeah, you guys stay bullish. Let's send it. What's the ticker? Let's go.
Let's
Let's listen
go.
to this song. Let's listen to your song, Tick.
All right, let's go.
What's the ticker? What's the ticker? Let's see some emojis. Come on, don't stay flatlined.
What's the ticker? Where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab. Blew the whole shot, didn't land. Another sell-off we've been had. Not a single drop of liquid left. Bullish on another flip. Or 1% it didn't slip. Finish on another flip. What's the ticker? Where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab. Blew the whole shot, didn't land. Another sell-off we've been had. Not a single drop of liquid left. Bullish on another flip. Or 1% it didn't slip.
I'm waiting on a remix with this one. Have some more bass.
Like a cat, see the chart, it goes flat. White headphones on his hat, money counter on his lap, gold chain with the strap, cashing out hella crazy. That's a lot in the bag. What's the ticker? Where's it at? I put the crypto on my tab.
Thanks again, you guys. See you tomorrow. Have a good time. Bye-bye.
Thank you again.